Welcome to the fifth commencement lecture of UES. Let us engage, learn, and be inspired. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Regional Ministers. The Acting Pro-Vice Chancellor has eloquently said, commencement lecture sets the theme for the whole year's research agenda. And it has become one of the major events of the University of Environment and Sustainable Development. We herald a new year and we discuss topical issues. Let's have a roll call of how far we have come. We told you this is the fifth in the series. For lecture 1 in 2021, which was our maiden one, we had the theme Securing the Environment, our challenge, which was delivered by Professor Otin Yeboah, who titled his presentation, Attitude as the Primary and Silent Requirement in the Service for National Development. Number 2 said, Securing the Environment, Role of the University in Climate Change. And this was delivered by Dr. Henry Kwabna Kokofu of EPA. Number 3 was also an exciting one. Honorable Minister, we took a look at our water. So we said securing the environment, our water, our future. And it was delivered by Reverend Dr. Engineer Anthony Appiah from the Water Resources Division of the CSIR. Number 4 was also another exciting theme. It was delivered by Dr. Daniel Tutubinifo from the Environmental Protection Agency. And the theme was on towards net zero emissions, the role of clean energy in Africa. Are you ready for milestone number 5? Our milestone number 5, captioned under the theme, Forests for the Future, Strategies for Addressing Climate Change, Biodiversity Laws, and Sustainable Development in Ghana. And today we have another distinguished speaker who will be introduced soon to take his turn to address us. The chairmanship of one who is going to be introduced. Dr. Lente, please come and introduce for us the chairman for this occasion.
Registrar to chairman for this occasion is no own Vice Chancellor, Sir Eric Thompson. Let's welcome our chairman. Thank you.
So listen, so either accept or reject, then welcome us as well.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I accept. And the interesting thing I found this morning, that I don't think Dr. Lente ever thought that we will meet here or we will meet somewhere in our lives for him. Good morning. I thank you for responding to our invitation as I stand by the protocols that have been. Welcome you to the 5th since the establishment of the city. We are happy to have you here. Commencement lecture, which is usually followed by a Thanksgiving service on Sunday, is the UESD's way of beginning or signaling the beginning of an academic. A theme regarding an issue in the environment is agreed upon, and an expert in the area is invited to speak on it to stakeholders of the university. By this, we intend to draw the attention of policymakers, researchers, businesses, institutions, organizations, and individuals, among other stakeholders, to pay attention to our environment for the sustainable development of all. We deem it expedient to do so, especially when the world has 5 years to the end of the United Nations Sustainable Development. I will align myself with the various lectures, the titles, and the speakers that the registrar offered to us. The theme for the fifth lecture today in 2025, our fifth year in existence, is Forests for the Future, Strategies for Addressing Climate Change, Biodiversity Loss, and Sustainable Development. This theme underscores the critical role forests play in tackling contemporary environmental challenges such as deforestation, climate change, biodiversity loss, and ecosystem degradation. Highlights the importance of sustainable forest management and policy innovation in Ghana's quest for environmental resilience and socio-economic growth. The theme aligns with the global sustainable development goals while addressing local environmental priorities. According to the Global Forest Resources Assessment 2020, forests cover approximately 31% of the world's land area. Forests are considered the largest terrestrial ecosystems of the earth by area and are found around. Human society and forests can affect one another positively or negatively. Forests provide ecosystem to humans and serve as tourist attraction. They can also affect people. However, human activities, including unsustainable use of forest resources, can negatively affect forest ecosystems. We readily recognize deforestation and the invasion of our forests in search of precious minerals. Presented in the other three programs for which we have received accreditation. The Master of Philosophy in Sustainable Aquaculture and Biotechnology. The Master of Philosophy in Environmental Restoration Studies. And a Master of Science in Environmental Restoration Studies. Preparations are on course to roll out these programs, having turned out our first graduate in November 2020. It is our hope, Honorable Minister, to contribute to the realization of the aim of the university and the goals of higher education to create a better world for ourselves and the generations to come. I welcome you all once more. Have a good listen.
This global literacy is coming up to 500 US equal.
asia eye na do aye isanu ensoje yina o ese yina remo oboye obano ensoje yina oh ochichaji yeno ameyina moye nyakopona yo yesi asia eye na do aye isanu ese yina remo oboye dada soje yina remo ochichaji yena ameyina moye nyakopona yo yesi asia eye na do aye isanu ese yina remo oboye obano soje yina remo ochichaji yena ameyina moye nyakopona yo yesi asia eye na do aye isanu.
Thank you very much, Evergreen UESD choir. Honorable Minister, we have very good choir here. Any program, they are ready to be part of it. I'm selling you. Yes. Shall we show by hands the freshmen and women here, level 100? Yeah. Level 200. Level 300. Level 400. The number decreases as we get to the higher level. I'll have to look into it. We have in our midst our acting dean of School of Natural and Environmental Sciences, Dr. Francis Shine Bedema. Thank you very much. We have our heads of department. Are you here? Heads of department and units, please. Let's wait. Okay. We have our director of physical development and estate management, Sevilla Isaac Abam. Okay. We'll continue and we'll be introducing people as and when they come. I will contact the ministers and Torah so that I can properly introduce each one of you. We are at a point where we are receiving the goodwill messages. The representative of the Director General of GTEC, Dr. Evans Techi and Kuma Asari. Goodwill message from the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, our regulators. Thank you.
Most of you have been, some of you have. Speak today on behalf of the Director General. So stand on. I heard it. I'll go straight to what I've been given to read, and I'll try my best. If I miss some of the else, the video. Yes, it's with profound honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you to represent the Ghana Tertiary Education on this momentous occasion. So I continue. The 5th commencement lecture and Thanksgiving service. Or let me start so that we all don't miss out. It's with profound honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today, representing the Director General Commission. On this momentous occasion, which is the 5th commencement lecture and Thanksgiving service of the University of Environment and Sustainable Development. The theme for this year is Forests for the Future, Strategies for Addressing Climate Change, Biodiversity Laws, and Sustainable Development in Ghana. And that theme is not only timely, also profoundly significant as we confront the existential challenges of our time. Say especially, Honorable Minister. Please don't do it politics. You are buying dirty water. As we gather here today, we are reminded of the critical role that institutions like UESD play in shaping the future of our nation and the world at large. For the past 5 years, UESD has been cementing its place among the beacons of academic excellence, innovation, and resilience, steadfastly committed to its core values of honesty, opportunity, perseverance, enterprise. These values are not merely aspirational. They are the bedrock upon which this institution has built its legacy of fostering environmental sustainability and driving social transformation. Yes, honesty. And I must pause a bit. First heard this acronym of hope from the VC, first VC, current VC, when we held an interactive session towards ratification of his appointment. Decided. If you haven't, that's where it started. So yes, honesty as a cornerstone of academic and scientific inquiry. It is indispensable in our collective quest for truth. In an era where misinformation, pseudoscience, often cloud public discourse, UESD has remained unwaveringly in its commitment to evidence-based research and education. This integrity is crucial as we seek to address the complex interplay of climate change, biodiversity laws, and sustainable development. The university's dedication to scientific rigor ensures that its contributions to these fields are both credible and impactful. You can see this through the research you conduct and where you publish them. Opportunity. This lies at the heart of UESD's mission by equipping its students with the knowledge, skills, and ethical grounding necessary to tackle global challenges. The university empowers them to become agents of change. Through its innovative programs and community engagement initiatives, UESD extends its influence beyond the academic sphere, fostering sustainable practices and policies that resonate across industries and societies. This commitment to creating opportunities for transformative impact is a testament to the university's vision of a more sustainable and equitable future. Perseverance. This has been the hallmark of the UESD's journey so far. In the face of numerous challenges, one I would mention, funding, establishment funding, the seed capital, was a major challenge management faced when it was established. We must commend them what they've been able to achieve given the resource constraints that they faced. Its tenacity is reflected in its groundbreaking research, its dedication to environmental stewardship, and its unwavering pursuit of excellence. It is this spirit of perseverance that will continue to drive UESD's contributions to sustainable development in Ghana. Beyond enterprise, this encapsulates the innovative and forward-thinking ethos of the university's entrepreneurial approach to addressing environmental challenges is evident in its research, interdisciplinary collaborations, and commitment to developing scalable solutions. This spirit of enterprise is essential as we navigate the complexities of climate change and biodiversity laws. And this positions UESD as a leader in the global effort to secure a sustainable future. Therefore, on behalf of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, I wish to reaffirm our support for UESD's mission. The work being done here is not only vital for the future of Ghana, but also for the global community as we face the escalating impacts of climate change and environmental degradation. The role of institutions like UESD in driving education, research, and policy innovation cannot be overstated. Your adherence to the values of hope ensures that your contributions will continue to resonate far beyond the borders of this country. As we reflect on the theme of this year's commencement, Forests for the Future, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all life on this planet. Forests are not merely repositories of biodiversity, vital ecosystems that sustain livelihoods, regulate our climate, and safeguard our future. The strategies we develop today to protect and restore these ecosystems will determine the legacy we leave for the generations to come. UESD, with its focus on environmental sustainability, is uniquely positioned to lead this change. To the students, and I'm happy you are here, I urge you to acquire and uphold the values of this institution. Be bold in your pursuit of knowledge, and as much as you can. Courageous in your advocacy for sustainability. Don't be quiet. Speak up. And unwavering in your commitment to creating a better world. Shaking, no backup, and fail. Remember that your actions, no matter how small, have the power to inspire and change the future. In closing, I would like to reiterate the GTEC's pride in UESD's achievements. The future of environmental stewardship is indeed bright, and it is institutions like UESD that will light the way. This time round, we are not waiting for the light at the tunnel. Carry the light from the beginning, and UESD is doing that. So together, let us continue to strive for a world where sustainability is not an inspiration but a reality. Thank you, and may your paths be filled with success, purpose, and an enduring commitment to our planet's future. Thank you.
Now I have to bring it down. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So the National Fire Service has always been with us. They are ready in season and out of season, always attending all our programs. And we'll give the chance for Assistant Divisional Officer 2, Mr. Thaddeus Jabel, to say hi to us. A few goodwill message from
Good morning, students. Good morning. I would like to say, always saying to go pick firewood. Like it happened, I'm the one cooking the food. So if I don't cook it well, pardon me. So like Madam said, ADO to Thaddeus Jabal, standing in for my boss, who's supposed to have been here, but because he's also are equally important. So, like Mom said, we have been friends day one, and we will continue to be friends. So, pardon me if I should break protocols. This is a goodwill message from the Ghana National Fire Service. So, as students embark on your academic journey, it's essential to prioritize safety, particularly regarding fire hazards. The fire service play a crucial role in educating and supporting students in creating a safe living environment. This message seeks to convey a goodwill message that will help us all as we begin our academic career here. So like Madam did the introduction, we have the first years, level 2, level 3, and then level 4. But as she was doing the introductions, like the number kept going down. But I know freshers, probably you might not have tasted the good message of fire service, but for level 2, level 3, and then 4, we have been friends. So bear with us, and I also encourage you as you mingle with your senior officers or your senior students, and then we can co-live in a safe environment. So, living away from home often presents new challenges, including understanding potential fire risks in dormitories and off campus. According to statistics, cooking is a leading cause of fires in those settings, with September and October leading within a season. So we will all want to eat, get ourselves strong, and come to class. But in the haste of putting yourself together to catch up with lectures, please be very mindful and cautious how you put yourself together before you rush in for class. Are we together? It is vital to students to recognize that they are responsible for their safety and the safety of their peers. We, the fire service, encourage all students to engage in fire safety education. This includes familiarizing themselves with the building's evacuation plan, ensuring that smoke alarms are functioning, and knowing how to use fire extinguishers. I wouldn't want to get an answer to this, but I know we have a safety officer here. So students, you acquaint yourself with the evacuation plans within your dormitory settings, so that should we have emergency, you will know how to maneuver yourself before the arrival of the fire team. There has always been a big challenge that when the call is put, fire service don't respond on time. We do our best to come within the shortest possible time. Oh, you should clap to this. Thank you. You know what? So many municipal fire service, when it comes to administrative jurisdiction, we are limited with somewhere Akole, because soon after Akole, we are almost entering Osu, that's Accra. But when it comes to operational jurisdiction, we overlap. So if Dodowa, who's supposed to take care of all this stretch, is out of commission, Somanya is the nearest fire station to that area. So if a fire call is coming all the way from, let's say, Ayikuma, and we are living from here to Ayikuma, like, oh, Jack, I think I'm Obantim. At least your husbands, your wives, your uncles, your nieces are those in the car. So as we value your property, we value our life as well. So, oh, yes, that is it. There are no two ways about this. So bear with us if we come to you late, but to us it is the fastest we came, and we make progress. So the fire service is committed to supporting university communities by providing resources and assistance. The local fire department at Sumanya Municipal Fire Service is often collaborating with university during campus fire safety months to raise awareness about fire prevention strategies. Students are encouraged to reach out for guidance on best practices for maintaining a safe living environment. So we all came from diverse communities. We don't know how you prioritize your fire safety there. This is a university setting. We're talking about sustainable development. So if you are coming here and you cannot help us sustain what we have, don't put us aback. Leave it where it is so that we can manage where we have here and we continue when you go after 4 years of being here. We didn't clap for this. So we extend our goodwill message to university students, you, to prioritize your safety by being proactive about fire prevention. By working together as a community and implementing effective safety measures, we can significantly reduce the risks of fires and ensure a safer environment as we.
Let's give him another round of applause. He has really pushed the fire agenda and the need to be safe around fires and the environment. Thank you very much, sir. At this point, we would like to call on our USD choir to give us some musical interlude. One song. One song, please.
You could see the conductor in his element. Thank you very much, USD. That was a brilliant one. High point program Mr. Chairman of the occasion, ladies and gentlemen, is spoken word. This is to be done by our own students. Dwelling on the theme, we would want to pave the way for the guest speaker. So Dr. Piakubu, this one especially for you. Celestine, Ayram, Apalu, and team. Let's clap for her. Spoken word on the theme, Celestine, Ayram.
Thank you very much. And as said by our MC, Celestine Aram, actually. And I would like to buy your ear for a couple of minutes. There's an ancient call. The trees are whispering. Their voices rise like forgotten songs, a melody woven in the breath of time, calling us back to the wisdom long buried. Beneath the weight of concrete and steel, Ghana, country of gold and green, where the mighty Wawa once kills the skies, and the forests are cuddled by the sacred sound beats of the past. But now, silence takes possession, and echoes are fading, and the rivers choked on the fallen leaves of neglect.
NDC constituency chairman of the ULOC of Traditional. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. We will be introducing more people. Executive, constituency, NDC constituency executive. Can we see you? I wanted to mention your names one by one, but I mean, I'm told it's fun. And I will give you time to rest, and then if you have something to say hello for us later on in the program. Thank you very much. It is now my singular honor to introduce the guest speaker for today. Our guest speaker for today is Dr. Seth Appiah Kubi, who is the National Director of Arocha, Ghana. He has worked in nature conservation, natural resource management, and climate change for the past 15 years. He has gained rich experience in mainstreaming nature into economic decisions, working with communities to adapt to current trends in climate change, monitoring corporate biodiversity performance, and developing corporate level biodiversity strategic plans. His vast experience in the natural resource governance from the community level to the international level where protocols are made underlines his deep knowledge in sustainability of natural resource use and its conservation, social equity, and sustainable, equitable shared resources. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Appiah Kubi's involvement in developing effective livelihood opportunities to anchor strong conservation initiatives underlines his expertise in green value chain development, promotion of green market opportunities, and green value chain interventions that support the creation of enabling environment for green investment and business development. For the record, the colors of the UESD has green in it. I hope that's not the green we are talking about, Dr. Appiah Kubi. Dr. Appiah Kubi has good knowledge of both international and local business environments, having previously held positions in cross-functioning levels in manufacturing, banking, financial services, and academic industries. He has worked at Barclays Bank as operations manager and a faculty member at the business faculty of the Pentecost University, Ghana, teaching investment and banking. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker holds a PhD in finance and an MBA in international business. He's a chartered management accountant with Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, UK, and a Chartered Global Management Accountant, CGMA. With a round of applause, let us welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Appiah Kubi.
Thank you very much, Madam. And thank you, the spoken word team. It really inspired me. Mr. Chairman, an honorable minister, thank you for gracing our occasion. members of parliament represented here, Pro Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Dean of Faculties, Heads of Departments, representatives of traditional leaders here, thank you for coming, students, the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Mr. Chairman, in November 2017, a legal claim by a Peruvian farmer against a German energy company made headlines around the world. On paper, it appeared like a straightforward property claim between one man and a corporation. This lawsuit alleged that the company was causing a risk of damage to the claimant's house and demanded that the risk be removed. But the house in question was located in the Peruvian Andes, far away from the company's power plant in Europe. And the risk was due to potential flooding from glacier retreat caused by climate change. For the first time anywhere, a legal claim between a person and a corporation over climate change impact was going to trial. All those involved in the legal processes knew that this was more than a property claim. The company's lawyers refused to settle out of court, arguing that it was a matter of precedent. Much broader question was at stake, such as how people should engage with changing socio-material environment and who should take responsibility for global warming. Framing these issues in terms of a dispute between a human person and a corporate person, the legal framework reduced these concerns to a concrete property claim, yet ultimately spurred wider public discussions about the state of climate change. Mr. Chairman, thank you for inviting me to be the speaker for this year's commencement lecture for the August University on a topic of such global, national, and local importance. Forests for the future, strategies for addressing climate change, biodiversity laws, and sustainable development. Mr. Chairman, permit me to add just a word to this well thought of topic without uttering what the planners of this event intended. I would say forest for a just future, strategies for addressing climate change, biodiversity laws, and sustainable development. A future where humanity is not waging war on nature. A future where humanity respects the Earth's life-supporting processes. A future where humanity does not live at the expense of the Earth's capacity to sustain current and future well-being of human and other forms of life. Mr. Chairman, the triple planetary crisis refers to the three main interlinked issues that humanity currently faces: climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Each of these issues have its own causes and affect each other on the issues to be resolved. And if we are to have a viable future on this planet, for the scope of this lecture, I will limit myself to climate change and biodiversity laws. and seek their relationship with sustainable development. Mr. Chairman, climate change is the most pressing issue facing humanity today. Climate change refers to the long-term shift in temperature and weather patterns that in the long run will completely alter the ecosystems that support life on the planet. Human activities are the main drivers of climate change. Almost everything we do releases emission, but energy use, industry, transport, building, and agriculture are the main causes for release of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. The consequences of climate change already today manifest through increased intensity and severity of drought, water scarcity, wildfires, rising sea levels, flooding, melting polar ice, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity, as my anecdote in the beginning pointed to. Biodiversity loss, on the other hand, Mr. Chairman, refers to the decline or disappearance of biological diversity, which includes animals, plants, and ecosystems. The reason for biodiversity loss include everything from overfishing to habitat loss, deforestation to make way for development, to desertification due to climate change. Biodiversity loss is the baseline for everything on the planet, as in the end, we are all interlinked. Biodiversity loss impact food supplies and access to clean water. Without it, we have no future on our planet. Mr. Chairman, the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals is threatened by an array of escalating and mutually reinforcing environmental risks. Current and projected changes to climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution make achieving the SDGs even more challenging. For example, for even a small increases in temperature, along with associated changes such as in weather, precipitation, heavier rainfall events, extreme heat, drought, and fire, increase risk to health, food security, water supply, and human security. These risks increase along with warming. In 2018 alone, damages from climate change related natural disasters cost about $155 billion. The burden of environmental decline is felt by everyone, but disproportionately by the poor and vulnerable, and looms even larger over today's youth and future generations. Producers and consumers in wealthy countries often export their environmental footprint to poorer countries through trade and the disposal of waste. Environmental changes are already undermining hard-won development gains and impeding progress towards ending poverty and hunger, reducing inequalities, and promoting sustainable economic growth that work for all and promoting peaceful and exclusive society. Land degradation, for instance, adversely affects more than 3 billion people. The Earth's capacity to sustain growing needs for nutritious food, water, and sanitation will continue to weaken in the face of ongoing environmental declines, as vulnerable and marginalized people are currently experiencing. For example, food scarcity is threatened by the loss of pollinators and fertile soil. Losses of pollinators threaten annual global crop output worth between $235 and 577 billion US dollars. Mr. Chairman, the preamble of today's topic is based on forest. Why forest? Why not any other ecosystem? Mr. Chairman, one of Earth's critical systems is forest. Forests have been proven to be one of the most efficient and effective Earth's life-supporting resources. The forest has been the source and headwaters of our rivers, streams, and springs. Every person benefits from clean air and water, a hospitable climate, and the many additional benefits that forests provide, including food, medicine, energy, materials, inspiration, and a sense of place. A rich web of life which the forest provides moderate and help maintain the Earth's system in ways crucial to people, for example, by reducing the severity of natural disasters and by providing soil, pollination, and pest control, and help people harness the planet's fertility. Mr. Chairman, in seeking strategies to address the myriad consequences of climate change and biodiversity loss, with a strong connection to sustainable development in Ghana, the value we place in our forest estates and the effort we put into their management will be crucial in our success in this endeavor. When it comes to climate change, there has been international and global effort led by the United Nations in combating climate change. The UN set up the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC. The IPCC is the UN body that assesses climate science. The IPCC provides scientific information to national governments to help them develop climate policy. The IPCC issues reports through the assessment cycles. The cycle is usually 6 to 7 years. The IPCC has so far issued 6 assessments. And the 6th report are since its formation in 1988. Government, civil society organizations, academia, and the media regularly quote from the IPCC report. The 5th assessment report was an important influence on the landmark Paris Climate Agreement in 2015. The 7th assessment cycle of the IPCC began in 2023. Mr. Chairman, the UN's effort to combat climate change also include the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, or what we commonly call UNFCCC. The UNFCCC is an international treaty that aims to prevent dangerous human interference with the climate system. The UNFCCC was adopted in 1992 and entered into force in 1994. The convention has a conference of the parties, what we commonly refer to as COP, COP, that meet to assess global effort. Mr. Chairman, Ghana is a party and has been at the annual COPs, with the most recent one at Baku, Azerbaijan in November 2024. Some of the UNFCCC parent treaties are the Kyoto Protocol in 1997 and the Paris Agreement in 2015. Mr. Chairman, at these UNFCCC COP meetings, countries are to demonstrate how they are meeting their nationally determined contributions, what we commonly refer to as NDCs. NDCs are national climate action plans by each country under the Paris Agreement. A country's NDCs outline how it plans to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to help meet the global goal of limiting temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius and adapt to the impact of climate change. When it comes to combating biodiversity loss, Mr. Chairman, the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity, UNCBD, or UN Biodiversity, is the legal framework set up to protect biodiversity. It entered into force in 1993 and has been signed by 196 nations, including Ghana. Its three aims are the conservation of biodiversity, the sustainable use of biodiversity, and the fair sharing of the benefit from the use of genetic resources. The Conference of Parties is the governing body of the convention. At its 15th Conference of the Parties in 2022 in Montreal, Canada, parties under the Convention on Biological Diversity adopted the Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, GBF. In this framework, countries agreed to take urgent action to halt and reverse biodiversity loss and to put nature on the path to recovery for the benefit of people and planet as their mission towards 2030 in order to achieve the 2050 vision that biodiversity is valued, conserved, restored, and wisely used, maintaining ecosystem services, sustaining a healthy planet, and delivering benefit essential to people. To strengthen the science policy interface for the biodiversity and ecosystem services for the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity, long-term human well-being, and sustainable development, the Intergovernmental Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, IPBEST, was established. Mr. Chairman, I have already pointed out some of the global efforts being made through the United Nations. The United Nations ambit to set up strategic framework for solutions to the planetary poly crisis. However, the fulfillment of these usually grand international frameworks require national and local content and commitment to bring the needed solution. Ghana has ratified both conventions on climate change and biodiversity laws and has pledged commitment to fulfill its obligations in meeting the targets under these conventions. It behoves on us as a nation to devise strategies to address climate change and biodiversity loss, whose potential negative impact poses great threat to the well-being of the population. When it comes to climate change, the broader strategy is on mitigation and adaptation. Mitigation and adaptation are the two main responses to climate change. They are two sides of the same coin. Mitigation addresses the causes of climate change, and adaptation addresses its impact. Adaptation can be understood as the process of adjusting to the current and future effect of climate change. Maybe it is better illustrated with this simple analogy. Take it that we are all in a room and it begins to rain. Part of the roof begins to leak water. Soon the room begins collecting water. The room has no doors for anyone to escape. Everyone started making effort. Some to block the leakages, others to try and mop up the water in the room. These efforts went on for some time. After a while, without success, one of us suggested, why don't we learn how to swim in the meantime, whilst we continue to look for solutions? By that way, we will survive the flooding and live to continue to look for solutions. Mr. Chairman, adaptation is adjusting to the current and future effect of climate change. It is like learning how to swim in a flooding situation whilst we continue to block the leakages causing the flooding. Mitigation, on the other hand, means preventing or reducing the emission of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere to make the impact of climate change less severe. The science is clear. To avert the worst impact of climate change and preserve a livable planet, global warming needs to be limited as much as possible and as a matter of urgency, according to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Under the Paris Accord, countries agreed to substantially reduce greenhouse gas emissions to enable the long-term global average surface temperature increases to be kept well below 2 degrees Celsius, above pre-industrial levels, and pursue effort to limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius. At COP26 in Glasgow, 27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, and 28 in Abu Dhabi, countries emphasized that the impact of climate change would be much more at a temperature, would be lower at a temperature increase at 1.5 compared to 2 degrees Celsius, and expressed their firm resolve to pursue effort to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This is why countries have pledged commitment through the nationally determined contribution system in fulfilling this obligation under the Paris Agreement. Nationally determined contribution, or NDCs, are national climate action plans by each country under the Paris Accord. The country's NDCs outlines how it plans to reduce greenhouse gases emission to help meet the global goal of limiting temperature rise to 1.5 degrees and adapt to the impact of climate change. The Paris Agreement requires that NDCs are updated every 5 years with increasingly higher ambition, taking into consideration each country's capacity. After the original NDCs in 2015 and the second round in 2020-2021, the next round, which we have termed NDCs 3.0, are due in early 2025 and would detail countries' intended climate actions through 2035. So when we meet this year in Brazil, that is what we will be accounting for during the climate COP. These new NDCs will take into account the global stocktake, which evaluates global progress in achieving the goal of the Paris Accord, intended to help policymakers and stakeholders strengthen their climate policies and commitment. It is critical that countries deliver more ambitious NDCs to ensure a safer and more livable future for both the planet and people everywhere. In line with Article 4 of the Paris Agreement and UNFCCC decision, Ghana has updated its nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement from 2020 to 2030, considering its unique circumstances. The update affirms the country's resolve to address the impact of climate change on the country's economy and its vulnerable people. According to the updated nationally determined contribution under the Paris Accord, Ghana believes that if no rapid action is taken to address climate change and its negative impacts now, the future costs will be prohibitive and counterproductive to the socioeconomic gains made today. Therefore, responding to climate change issues is top on the national development agenda. Some of the strategic ambitions of Ghana in attaining its climate change target is to reach a net zero by 2060. In view of this, Ghana launched the Ghana Energy Transition and Investment Plan in September 2023 during the United Nations Assembly. The plan makes Ghana's commitment to fighting climate change and fostering economic development in tandem. It details a credible pathway for how Ghana can achieve net zero energy-related carbon emission by 2060 through the deployment of low-carbon solutions across by key sectors of its economy, including oil and gas, industries, transport, cooking, and power. Mr. Chairman, net zero refers to the balance between the amount of greenhouse gas that's produced and the amount that is removed from the atmosphere. It is a target of completely negating the amount of greenhouse gases produced by human activity, to be achieved by reducing emissions and implementing methods of absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. It can be achieved through a combination of emission reduction and emission removal. Mr. Chairman, it's been the demand of least developed countries, mainly in the global south, that rich countries of the global north help pay for this transition to give a sense of fairness, since historic carbon emission has largely been contributed by rich countries when they were on their industrialization drive. An assertion, I believe, ensures a just transition. Mr. Chairman, it is not for nothing that forest is the bedrock of the topic for today's commencement lecture. Forest's strategic importance in addressing issues of climate change and biodiversity loss cannot be overemphasized. Forest's ability to sequester carbon makes it one of the best nature-based solutions for climate and biodiversity loss. When carbon is released into the atmosphere, a quarter is absorbed by forests. Another quarter is absorbed by the ocean, and the half left is absorbed into the atmosphere. Forests are one of the world's best important carbon sinks, absorbing 2 billion tons of CO2 annually, offsetting 1/3 of global fossil fuel emissions. Trees extract CO2, releasing oxygen while storing carbon in trunks, branches, leaves, and roots. Mr. Chairman, while the carbon storage capacity of forests is well known overall, let me take the opportunity to unveil 5 lesser known facts about forest carbon sequestration, so that the university as a research institution, or even as audience in this lecture, we can be part of the discussions when it comes to national policies on our forest management and use. First, monospecific forests don't sequester as well as forests containing multiple species. And research has shed light on an intriguing aspect of forest ecosystem, their biodiversity, and its impact on carbon sequestration. There's abundance in which studies have revealed that monospecific forest may not sequester carbon as effectively as forests with diverse tree species. The rationale behind these findings lies in the unique characteristics and functions each tree species bring to a forest ecosystem. Forests with different species exhibit greater variation in leaf phenology, root structure, and growth pattern. This diversity enhances overall productivity and resilience, leading to more efficient carbon uptake and storage. Actually, diverse forests tend to have a longer period of photosynthesis due to staggered leaf phenology among various species, which maximizes carbon dioxide absorption from the atmosphere. Secondly, older forests are generally better at sequestering carbon. The ability of forests to sequester carbon depends on various factors such as tree species, age, density, climate, and geographical location. Mature forests, which have reached a state of ecological equilibrium over many decades or even centuries, exhibit remarkable efficiency in capturing and storing carbon. Over the course of their lifespan, older forests undergo succession, where they transition from young and sparse stands to dense and diverse ecosystem. As trees grow taller and larger in diameter, they accumulate more biomass, which include above ground vegetation such as leaves, branches, and trunks. This increased biomass translates into greater carbon storage capacity. The cumulative effort of these factors make older forests exceptional at sequestering carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Mr. Chairman, in view of this, national initiatives such as Green Ghana tree planting exercise is laudable. However, such initiative should be in addition to saving existing forests. Forests also can be a net emitter of CO2. Trees also naturally emit CO2, albeit in small amount compared to their sequestration capabilities. The net effect of tree emissions depend on elements such as tree species and weather condition. Different tree species have varying rate of CO2 emission. For instance, some tree species release more carbon during respiration than others, and certain types of trees emit more through decomposing leaves or when they are disturbed or damaged. Consequently, it becomes essential to consider the specific species present in an ecosystem when addressing its carbon balance. Furthermore, during periods of high temperature or drought, trees may experience stress and undergo physiological changes that lead to increased respiration and reduced photosynthesis. These circumstances can potentially result in a negative sequestration outcome where forests emit more CO2 than they absorb. Understandably, this intriguing relationship between tree emissions and sequestration is crucial for effective mitigation strategies. 4. Urban trees grow 20% faster than rural trees. Recent studies have shown that trees grow faster and better where there is an increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, provided they have sufficient access to water. Whilst CO2 concentrations have increased globally, it is even higher in cities where which account for 70% of emission. Another upside of city pollution for trees is that they also benefit from higher level of nitrogen from car exhaust and rainwater. In cities, trees are usually less densely planted, so they don't need to compete for or with other trees for light. However, urban trees also have an accelerated aging process and usually need to be replaced sooner. And I recommend that we encourage the habit of growing trees in our open spaces rather than bare concrete. This provides an opportunity to plant more trees in urban areas so as to benefit from their sequestration, pollution, and heat regulating power. The presence of trees in urban areas has proven to be beneficial for mental health by creating quiet spaces that allow people to relax and unwind. And on this point, finally on this point, mangroves are better than terrestrial forests at sequestering carbon. Mangrove coastal ecosystems consist of salt-tolerant trees and shrubs that thrive in tropical and subtropical regions. Not only do mangroves provide a habitat for a diverse range of species, but they also possess an incredible capacity to capture and store large amounts of carbon dioxide. Research suggests that these remarkable ecosystems can sequester up to 4 times more carbon per unit area compared to terrestrial forests. In fact, it is essential to note, and it's estimated that mangroves store around 3 billion metric tons of CO2 globally, equivalent to the emission produced by nearly 700 million cars each year. From extensive root system to high rate of primary production, mangroves possess a myriad of features that contribute to their efficiency in capturing and storing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Mangrove ecosystems sustain high biodiversity and rich seafood supply. Mr. Chairman, biodiversity loss is one of the grand challenge our society is facing. A recent study by the World Wide Fund, WWF, reports an average of 69% decline in global population of mammals, fish, birds, reptiles, and amphibians since 1970. Referring to the current situation as a code red alert for humanity. A 2019 report by the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services noted that up to 1 million plant and animal species are facing extinction due to human activities, as more than half of the world's GDP is dependent on nature and the services it provides. Moreover, the climate and biodiversity crisis are deeply intertwined. Meeting the goals of the Paris Agreement depends on the successful conservation, restoration, and management of biodiversity. In short, protecting biodiversity is critically important and urgent. It is important for the planet, our health, and well-being, as well as the world's economy. Biodiversity provides many services to humans. These include stabilizing the climate, enhancing food supplies, contributing to the development of medicines, providing recreational values, and strengthening a person's spiritual life. among many others. Most of these services are provided in public goods. That is, their consumption is non-rival, as they are available to everyone in a particular region, and those unwilling to pay cannot be excluded from consuming the public good. Research has put the causes of biodiversity loss as habitat loss, invasive species, overpopulation, pollution, and climate change. And many of them that was exhibited by the spoken word group. Mr. Chairman, the potential solution to preserve and restore biodiversity include intergovernmental measures such as the Global Biodiversity Framework, by Convention on Biological Diversity, and other global treaties. Locally, government measures such as the development and implementation of the National Biodiversity Action Plan, the MBSAP, that aims to regulate and put quantity on national capital, such as by establishing protected areas, both forest reserves and national parks, and as well as marine protected areas, introducing technology standards and protecting existing forests and species that live in them, and policies through tax incentives and subsidies that encourage more sustainable production or consumption patterns. Sustainable development goal or sustainable development means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It's a complex and broad-based concept that includes economics sustainability, ecological sustainability, social sustainability, and cultural sustainability. Sustainable development has both intragenerational and intergenerational equities, and several approaches and their principles that it incorporates are directly or indirectly applicable to development activities. Some significant measures for sustainable development include use of eco-friendly and appropriate technology, reduce, reuse, recycle approaches, promotion of environmental education and awareness, improvement in social, cultural, and economic dimensions, and resource utilization as per its carrying capacity. In order to achieve sustainable development, everyone has to understand the ecocentric worldview, which states that the Earth's resources are limited and belongs to all the species that exist in nature. Though humans have the right to draw their requirements from the natural resources, but certainly not to the extent that it degrades the environment and harms other species and living beings. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, with 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and the 169 associated targets, encompasses a comprehensive development agenda integrating social, economic, and environmental dimensions. This agenda is a plan of action for people, the planet, and prosperity. It also seeks to strengthen universal peace in larger freedom. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015, provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. Mr. Chairman, government, communities, civil society organizations, academic institutions such as UESD has a role to play. You have a role as an academic body. I picked from your school anthem that students are trained to secure the environment. But in addition to that, you train students also so that they will fit in and lead our institutions to realize a future for our beloved country, a country whose development paradigms promote the well-being of its citizens. You are also to embark on research whose outcome improve the social, cultural, and economic dimension of our sustainable development agenda. And you are to seek collaboration with cross-sectional organizations and bodies, including civil society organizations, on shared ambition for mutual benefit. Mr. Chairman, as a civil society organization, Arusha Ghana, my organization, has a role to play in pushing the strategies for addressing climate change, biodiversity loss, and sustainable development in our beloved country. Our stance and track record on defending and promoting environmental sustainability is out there. We are there to support and collaborate with key institutions such as this university to play our role in nation building. It is for that reason that I am happy to announce that Arusha Ghana is instituting an award for the best student in BSc Nature Conservation and Management. The award will cover a cash prize, a certificate with citation, and up to 3-month internship opportunity at any of the 4 offices of Arusha Ghana around the country. The award will run for the first 10 years with the option to extend after the first 10 years. Mr. Chairman, I began with an anecdote of the effect of climate change. Allow me to end with one on biodiversity loss. Once in a small coastal village, the local fishermen rely heavily on a diverse range of fish species for their livelihood. The waters were rich with various fish, shellfish, and sea life, providing the community with healthy food and income. Among these, the small, often overlooked parrotfish played a crucial role. They graze on algae that grow on coral reefs, helping to keep the reefs healthy and vibrant. However, as the years passed, the village faced challenges. Increasing pollution, overfishing, and climate change began to take their toll. Fishermen targeted larger fish to maximize their catch, ignoring the importance of the parrotfish and other small species. Over time, the parrotfish population dwindled, and the coral reefs began to suffer from algae overgrowth. The vibrant underwater ecosystem that once thrived transformed into a desolate underwater landscape, leading other species to disappear as well. With the decline of the reefs came the stark consequences for the fishermen. Without the reefs to shelter young fish and maintain the ecosystem, larger fish became scarce. The once busy village markets fell silent as catches dwindled, leading to financial struggles and food insecurity among the fishermen's families. The elders of the village lamented the loss of their traditional way of life, recalling the days when they could catch plenty of fish and share their bounty with neighboring communities. In a bid to recover their fortunes, the village came together to enact changes. They implemented sustainable fishing practices and set up a community-run marine protected area, allowing the parrotfish population and coral reef a chance to recover. Over the years, slowly but surely, they began to see the positive effect of their effort. The reef started to regenerate, fish population returned, and the village regained its vibrant cultural and economic life. This experience taught the villagers an important lesson. The loss of biodiversity did not just impact the environment, it also affected their livelihood, food security, and the very fabric of their community. With a newfound understanding of their interconnectedness with nature, they embraced the stewardship of their marine environment, ensuring a sustainable future for themselves and the diverse life that thrive beneath the waves. Ghana has a lot to learn. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, everyone.
Okay. We have been schooled. Yes. Okay, so normally when the lecture is finished or completed, the lecturer will then hand over the speech to the Vice Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor to the Dean of Students, and that becomes the core discussion for the whole academic year. So, Tapia Kubi, I'll let you take your breath, and after the interlude, we will then receive your. Shall we clap for him again? What did you hear? I didn't know. Oh, so get ready to. I didn't know that the trees could be stressed. And trees for mental health. Spiritual. Very interesting. So let's go. USD choir.
Rise on the youth for your country. Your nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold and make a great and strong. Rise on the youth for your country. Your nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold and make a great and strong. We are all before. We are all. We are all before. We are all. In building of motherland. Go back to the land and the millions. Exploit to the full their resources. Your nation goes on empty stomach. So help to feed yourself. Go back to the land and the millions. Exploit to the full their resources. Your nation press on empty stomach, so help to feed
Dr. Apia Kubi, if you can be on your feet, Professor Eric Nyako Sampson, the Vice Chancellor, and then the representative of the Dean of Students. Please come this way. The representative of the Dean of Students at the Pro-VC. Okay, so please you give it to the Vice Chancellor. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor will give it to the Acting Vice Chancellor for the discussion, debate for the whole academic year. We will give you the response at the end of the year. Thank you very much. It is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the Eastern Regional Minister, the Honorable Mrs. Rita Akutia Ege Awate. Please stand to address us. Please stand.
Professor Chairman and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Environment and Sustainable Development, Professor Eric Nyako Sampson, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Edward Weafi Deborah, the Registrar, Mrs. Mary Abina Japan, the Member of Parliament, the Rep of the Member of Parliament for Yilo Krobo, Honorable Abetete Nyakote, the Rep of our MP for Lower Manya Krobo, Honorable Ebenezer Okutete Labiye, Rep of the Director General of Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abudulai, our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Seth Apia Kubi, National Director of AROCHA Ghana, deans, directors, heads of departments of this noble university, Rep of the Paramount Chief of Yilo Krobo, Nene Karikari, Rep of the Paramount Chief of Manya Krobo, in here, Neneme, and the traditional authorities here present, heads of all the MMDAs here, our security services here in presence, heads of institutions of our technical and senior high schools present here, members of the faculty and staff, executives of the National Democratic Congress in here, SRC presidents, Dear students, invited guests, all protocol duly observed. It is with immense pleasure that I stand before you today to deliver this goodwill message at the 5th Commencement Lecture of the University of Environment and Sustainable Development. Let me begin by extending my warmest New Year greetings to all in here. May the year 2025 be a year of renewed purpose, collaboration, transformative achievements for our beloved Eastern region and as to Ghana as a whole. I, on my own behalf, congratulate the Pro Vice Chancellor and his team for the start of a new academic year and pray for a fruitful year for both students and faculty. I wish to say a very big welcome and nyehe to the freshmen and women and to wish you the best in your academic journey. Professor Vice Chancellor, this occasion holds special significance to me as it marks my first official engagement at the University of Environment and Sustainable Development since my appointment as the regional minister. I am deeply honored to address this distinguished gathering at Ghana's foremost institution dedicated to environmental stewardship and sustainable development. Our university's unique mandate positions it as a beacon of hope and innovation in addressing pressing ecological challenges. Professor Chairman, all protocol observed, as I step into the community of this great university today, one of the things that resonates profoundly with me is its core value, extrapolated in the economy, hope, detailed, honesty, opportunities, perseverance, and enterprise. These values are not mere words by guiding principles that must shape the character of aspirations to everyone here. To the student fraternity, embrace these values wholeheartedly. They are your compass in navigating academic rigor, personal growth, and the urgent task of safeguarding our planet. Professor Chairman, as your regional minister, I am committed to championing the growth and aspiration of this noble institution. My office will prioritize the facilitation with the appropriate authorities, the timing completion of ongoing infrastructure and development projects. And development of projects to enhance teaching, research, and community engagement to the best of my ability. We shall also collaborate closely with the university Professor Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, today's theme, Forests for the Future, Strategies for Addressing Climate Change, Biodiversity Loss and Sustainable Development in Ghana, resonate profoundly with our regional and national priorities. The Eastern region, endowed with rich forest ecosystem, faces urgent threats from deforestation, illegal mining, and climate variability. The university's mandate to secure the environment for the public good must therefore translate into actionable research, policy advocacy, and community-driven solutions. Mr. Chairman, all protocol observed, I urge the university to strengthen partnership with organizations such as A. Rocha Ghana, presented here by our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Seth Appiah. Together, we must advance sustainable land use practices, biodiversity conservation, and climate resilience. Let us empower our students to become pioneers of green innovation and environmental leadership. I am also informed of the already existing collaboration with the Eastern Regional Coordinating Council on your annual Community Development Challenge program. This indeed gladdens my heart and makes it easier for us to work together for the public good. Professor Chairman, in conclusion, I wish to thank you all and your management team for your kind invitation to be part of this memorable and educative program. I strongly reaffirm my unwavering support for the university's vision. Let us harness knowledge, tradition, technology to safeguard our forests, secure our future, and uphold the Eastern region's legacy as a cradle of natural heritage. Mr. Chairman, before I end and I finally step off the platform, I wish to add that I am a daughter of the land. This is where I come from. And as a regional minister, I am willing to do anything within my reach to make the university succeed. That Yilo Global succeed, and Eastern region succeed, and Ghana, our motherland, succeed. I wish to also add up that as far as I hail from this land, I have members of my team that have started education here, and I have behind you a member of my security team, Maintain. I call him Maintain. He is a part of my security team, and he's a freshman in this school. Professor Chairman, Neneme, our cherished members here, thank you for your attention, and may God bless you. May God make Ghana great, and we all be great. Thank you. And before I sit down, before I take my seat, permit me to say this from your anthem. With sustainable steps, we pave the way, securing the environment, our solemn vow, to uphold the UESD in highest esteem. To this noble pursuit, we pledge anew. All hail our home of excellence, all hail our home of great tenacity, where our minds are shaped to change the world, to uphold the virtue of motherland. God bless us all.
Shall we keep standing for the investigation?
As the rise of the sun, the height of wisdom is like my home. process, we pave the way, securing the environment, our soul and power to uphold UEST in highest esteem. Today's noble blessing to pledge our associate to change the world, to uphold the virtues of our motherland. UEST, we strive to identify opportunities. By perseverance, we will overcome. UEST enterprise.
Please keep standing. The minister will quickly with us shortly. Keep standing, please. Shall we take our seat? It is now time for us to launch the Arocha Ghana Award. I will humbly call on our guest speaker, Dr. Pierre Kubi, and the acting Pro Vice Chancellor to perform this.
I take the podium again. The purpose of this award, it's in connection with the objective of our organization, promote environmental sustainability, and in doing this, it comes with nurturing. And nurturing means getting students who are interested in studying natural resource management so that they can fuse into our communities and then fill our positions of policy and positions of influence. This will be the second university we're establishing something like this. The first one is JIMPA. And in JIMPA, to also ensure diversity, we established an award to encourage more lawyers, environmental lawyers, to defend our environment. So there's an award for the best environmental law student at the law faculty. So the award here is very fundamental because you are in the study of natural resource management. And the one at JIMPA would add to, and with it will create synergy, such that as you practice and teach and encourage the country onto environmental protection and sustainability, those who cause infraction can have lawyers suing them and taking them to court.
Thank you so much. This goes to the program Nature Conservation and Management. By the powers conferred on me by the Vice Chancellor, I received the award and then declare it lunch. Thank you so much.
Hello. Right. So thank you very much, Dr. Pierre Kubi, for this award. It's very significant in the in-house of the university, and it gives us hope that the future is really, really going to be bright as we soldier on to secure the environment and be agents of change, to change the downward trend in our environment, our biodiversity, and so on. Last time, Dr. Pierre Kubi, I was asking, do they still have cocoa acai? Somebody was laughing. And then, some people think I don't know cocoa acai. Yes, you know. And I was wondering, now it looks like some categories of fish, we have to farm them to get them. But they were just there. You get the yam and then you get the fish, the mud fish. So we don't take this award lightly. Will ensure that deserving students get it. Whilst I was introducing, I did not introduce the Director of Information Systems and Operations, Dr. Emmanuel Kiche. Did I introduce the SRC President, Jennifer? Jennifer. Yeah, I didn't introduce you. We are all introduced. All of the rest of us are all introduced. We'll be taking the chairman's closing remarks in a bit. But the heads of our invited guests, heads of departments and units, members of management, we want you to join the Vice Chancellor to receive his guests in his residence. Heads of department, heads of unit, members of management, and our invited guests. The Vice Chancellor is inviting you to his residence after this program. Professor Chairman, please, you may give us your closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's been a very good learning curve this morning. We have learned a lot listening to our lecturer for today. If there is nothing we will take home, it's important for us to consider the fact that climate change is the most pressing issue facing humanity today. And so the question is, how can we help to avoid issues of climate change? That human activities are the main drivers of climate change. We also need to preserve a livable environment, and therefore we have to work together that will make our environment a place where we can live appropriately. I'm sure today may be the first time you heard about urban trees and rural trees. And so I never thought, I thought every tree is a tree. Every tree wherever is a tree wherever. But I got to know that there are urban trees and rural trees. And the fact that urban trees even grow faster than rural trees. So when he made that comment, I went to my consultant, ProVC. I said, how does that happen? Then he explained because of the cars, the number of cars, and all that. I also learned that trees, as registrar said, trees experience stress. So we thought that as humans, we are the only people who have stress. So trees have also stress. Therefore, I think it's important for me as a psychologist to ask us not to stress trees. And then again, that trees help in mental health. That is significant because those of you who lived with us in rural areas when we were growing up, sometimes they'll be looking for one woman or one man. They can't find him. They'll go to the bush and they will find him or her. And the young boys and girls, when they have broken hearts, they find solace in the trees. Some of them, you see them sitting on the trees. When they say come down, they say, I won't come down. Say, Ajuamba means Sifo. I didn't know they help in mental health. And then also, when Dr. Apiakubi talked about the fact that forests enhance spiritual lives, registrar was asking how. And I said that is why you find people in a Chimota forest and in the forest and in the bush doing lava, because they get there. And so it's been very good, an enterprise for us today. We as a university are working very hard, Doctor, and with our collaboration with you, we are working very hard. The Greenwich Meridian passes through our campus, and so Dr. Fatima is leading, and this was discovered by our students, in this university who on a particular assignment discovered that. And so we are looking at how to capture those areas into protected park, as you said. We're also delighted to mention to you that we are also a member, the institution is a member of the International Union of Forest Research Organizations. And so we are working within our mandate. Somebody will say, we know what we are about. And with the expert assistance from people like you, we know where we'll get to. Colleagues, I think once again, we've had a wonderful talk. And as students, there are a lot of things we've got to know now. The speeches with us, the addresses with us, will make it available to the Dean of Students Office, which I think must be posted on your students' platforms and on the university's website to educate the others who are not here to listen. I thank you sincerely for your assistance, and I thank you for your rapt attention. Nene, Mochum Hanye, Mauna Jogo. Should I stop? But why are you laughing? Okay, because you are laughing, we have finished. I thank you sincerely.
Listen, Muchum, Jennifer, I said Muchum. Thank you. Right. The Hope Roadshow team asks for 2 minutes. And I'll be generous with that. Starting from now, whoever is coming, I'm counting my 2 minutes. Hope Roadshow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the seconds. Okay. It's okay. Come. Hope Roadshow.
afternoon to everyone. So, as usual, as we've been having our Hope Road Show, which is a program that we do every year to talk about the values of our university, which is the HOPE. So, honesty, opportunity, perseverance, and enterprising. We are having it on Tuesday. So, Tuesday and Wednesday, we are having the opening ceremony at 9 a.m. So, it's for the whole university community. So please come in your numbers, all staff, students, for the opening ceremony. Thereafter, we'll have a breakout sessions for staff and then the freshers. Then the following day, we'll also have breakout sessions for continuing students. And then teaching faculty would also have their program on incorporating hope in developing curricula. So please don't be out. This year is going to be a different model altogether. So we have smaller groups, you share your hope experiences and your challenges, and then we take it up from there. Thank you.
She even had 15 seconds left out of it. Thank you for using the time well. Then Kari said somebody will come and thank us, but I wanted on behalf of the Vice Chancellor to thank you. Special thanks to you for spending the morning with us. We are always happy to have you here and extend our best wishes to. We missed him, but you deputized for him very well. Thank you so much. I now call on Mrs. Rose Nandara-Fan to come and thank us. Vote of thanks. I am informed that everybody else waits. The guests go to the VC's residence alongside. The guests go to the VC's house alongside. Why are people laughing? I'm happy to see. Yes. Yeah. She's looking very beautiful. So the guests will go to the VC's residence alongside the heads of department, units, sections, Professor Papo, management members join VC to welcome the city's guests.
Madam Registrar, Prof. Chairman, it is an honor to give the vote of thanks at our Faith Commencement Lecture. To God Almighty be the glory. At 5 years, good is the winner. For God has strengthened us, and UESD's roots are deeper and deeper by His grace. To our guest speaker, we say thank you for this inspiring lecture, Forests for the Future. To our Honorable Minister who just left, we thank her and her team for the assurance given to us. To our regulator, represented by my boss from GTEC, Dr. Techi Ankuma Asare. Thanks for GTEC's assurance. To the rep of Yellow Krobo, Nene Karkari, the third, Mochum, we are grateful for representing you. To our fire service officer, thanks for the safety tips given to us. To our invited guests, we say thank you for honoring our invitation. And to our cherished students, we appreciate you for choosing UESD to help secure the environment for a sustainable future. to management and our dedicated staff. Thanks for your hard work, your presence. UESD is succeeding with your support. To Team Digital Director and his team, we thank you for letting the world see what is currently happening here by the internet. Finally, to our planning committee led by Dr. Lutrot, we thank you so much for organizing this event. On behalf of management and everybody at UESD and on my own singular honor, I say thank you, merci, baraka, yagaza, and muchum. Thank you.
I can bet my last CD that she sold it herself. I don't bet. I think I may be excommunicated. But am I right? Yes, so she sold as well. So she sold what you like herself. You can place orders through me. Yes, through me alone, and one order at a time. All too soon, we have come to the end of the fifth annual commencement lecture. It's been insightful and very educative. Learned about trees, forests, lot of agreements, policies internationally that affect us. Somebody sneezes, we catch a cold. So we should all be interested in what happens to our forests. We have promised Dr. Piakubi that we will discuss it thoroughly. The students will debate it, and we will let you know what they think and what we've come up with. I thank you, all of you, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, who is also the chairman for this occasion, for coming. Thank you very much. May I now call on Dr. Fatima Ishen to give us the closing prayer. When we are done, we will take our photo at the usual place. We'll bring along your smiles, and we'll be having the photo. Fatima.
Thank you very much. Are we happy? Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Louder, 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 louder. Yes, 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 yes. We started with God, we end with God. So let's pray. God, our Heavenly Father, Almighty and everlasting God, we are grateful to Thee for the strength You have given to us and sustaining us throughout this program. We are grateful for the success You've made us chop these 5 years. We commit our journey into Your hands, O Lord. We commit this noble institution into Your care, that You continue to guide management, direct their affairs to successes. We commit students into Your care. We commit our staff into Your hands, that You grant each and every one good health, sound mind, so that whatever it is that we can do to pursue the agenda of this noble institution, we are able to do it. We commit all our guests into Your hands. We are grateful for their lives and the opportunities that You've given to us to meet them. We are grateful that through You, they made promises to us. And we pray that, oh Lord, You help them so that they are able to honor all those promises. We pray that You grant us successes. Let it be well with us, O Lord. Let it be well with each and every one of us. And in the end, Father, we give you all the glory, the honor, and the adoration, for that alone is the power. For that alone is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
The most important announcement left for the last. Thanksgiving service. Tomorrow morning, right here, starting at 9. We have a very young minister. Did you hear me, students? A very young minister coming to preach to us. So make sure you come in your numbers. I've seen the number here. So when you are coming, come with 3 more. Make sure you are bringing plus yourself, you should be 4. Can we do that? Yes, I know we can do that. And remind them that the buses will be around 1 hour early. That's around 8 at the specific places. So please make sure that they come along with you. Thank you very much. From here, whatever is good, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is of good report. If there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, let us think about those things. God bless you and have a good afternoon.
To add to all what Madam said, immediately after taking the photographs on the stairs outside, students, choristers, staff